Hello everyone and welcome back to the Brighton career mode here on FC24. We are finally to the January transfer window here in Season 4 and we've got a lot to cover in this episode, so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. If you didn't catch that episode, please be sure to go check that one out. Another fantastic episode. We beat Manchester United at the end of that episode as well as beating Leeds. 1-0 win over Blackburn in the Carabao Cup, of course, a competition that we are simulating, but we're now into the semifinals of that competition, so we might play the second leg of the semifinal fixture against Arsenal that we have. We're going to simulate the first one for sure, but we might play the second one. We'll see how it goes. And then a 1-0 win against Southampton and a 2-1 win against Manchester City in the league, as well as a simmed group stage game against St. Pat's in the Europa League, which of course we went through that competition to the knockout round. We are now into the preliminary rounds of that competition. As you can see, 6 wins from 6 in that competition for us, and then in the preliminary rounds, these are the teams that are playing against each other. We, of course, since we got first seed, moved on to the round of 16 already for the competition, so we will be awaiting our opponent. Whoever wins these games, we could face one of them. We'll have to see how that goes, but as you can see here, we are currently sitting in first place. If you didn't watch the last episode, be sure to go check it out for sure, because we started that last episode not anywhere close to first place. And a fantastic episode, 4 wins from 4, has led us to now sitting in first place in front of Arsenal, in front of Manchester City, in front of Liverpool. But of course, a lot of things went down in that last episode. As you can see here, João Pedro is out. A broken toe injury, of course. He is going to be out for 3 months, and we're going to be missing him until pretty much the very end of the season. Maybe the last 2 months he can play, maybe April and May he can play, so it's going to be tough without him, but we have a plan to bring in a player to replace him, and we also are planning on bringing in a right midfielder. Buonanotte and Jansen out on that right side just haven't really been doing it for us, and unfortunately, their time is up over on that right wing. We're going to go ahead and go after a new right winger first thing in this January transfer window. You guys left your comments at the end of the last episode for us to bring in a specific player. It was down to pretty much 2 in the comments between Kubo and Kudus, which is the players that I said that I would want to bring in out of all of our options. So there's not a lot to distinguish between the two. I mean, really, they have very similar attributes. The only thing I can see about Kudus that's better is his physicality, and his defending is a little bit better, which as a right winger, we're not necessarily worried about defending, but physicality, it's nice to see that that's a little bit better. And he's got a little bit more pace, a little bit better dribbling, a little bit worse passing, a little bit worse shooting, but again, those attributes are very, very similar. So we're just going to roll through the attributes for Mohamed Kudus. As you can see right here, very, very good physical attributes and mental attributes as well. And then technically, I mean, you couldn't ask for much more from a player. So 86 overall, he is officially going to be the biggest signing we have made in this entire career mode. We're going to be splashing the cash for Mohamed Kudus here. It's looking like we can get this deal done for around 60 million, but their asking price is 74. So we're probably going to go a little bit above 60 million. It is going to be the club record transfer signing. But we're going to go ahead and go straight in with an offer of 65. We don't want to take any chances on this. It is January 1st in the transfer window, so if this deal falls through immediately, then that would not be too big of a deal. They want to transfer swap with Andy Diop. We are definitely not letting him go, but their valuation of him was about at 75 million, so we're going to increase our offer to 68 and see what they say about that, and that looks like it's going to be done. Now all we've got to do is discuss wages, and this deal is going to be very easy to accomplish. Of course, as you can see up in the top left, our budget and weekly budget available is just absolutely ridiculous. We're going to sign him up on a 5-year deal. 500 million to spend, as well as a budget of like 9 million that we can spend weekly, is just insane. He wants 2.9 million after 15 goals, a signing bonus, 115k on wages. I'm not even going to argue with it. I'm just going to accept it. We're perfectly fine with that because there's no way we're going to spend all of that money anyways. So Mohamed Kudus, welcome to Brighton Hove Albion. And that is the club record signing by only 6 million, actually. I forgot that we paid 62 million for Garnacho. I thought we might have paid a little bit less than 60 million for him, but 8 million paid for Mohamed Kudus. He is going to fit very nicely out on that right side. And we've also got some other news. We're going to go ahead and put him there for now, but we've got some other news about some players that have actually already left that we weren't expecting. We got an email saying that Tom Bischoff had been recalled by Barcelona. They weren't happy with his game time, so his loan has expired with us, but that's nothing to worry about. We obviously have Jansen and Buonanotte out on that right side, and Buonanotte and Jansen both can really play in that cam position, so I'm not necessarily too worried about it. We are going to slot Kudus right into that right side immediately. He might not start the next game, but he will definitely be our starting right midfielder going forward. And we're actually going to go ahead and push our wingers forward just a little bit. I saw a comment about that, and I agree that that's probably a good solution to our wingers needing to be, more of a goal-scoring threat. So pushing them forward is going to be very nice. Yeah, as far as the backup cam goes, we're going to be perfectly fine. We've got Buonanotte. We've got plenty of people that can really go in that cam spot, so I'm not too worried. But now, on to a backup striker. Chao Miranda has been playing well for us, and honestly is very good, and I enjoy using him. But I know that we're going to need at least another striker for, the rest of the season since João Pedro is out for such a long time. And we're going to revisit a player that we thought about bringing in the summer transfer window, but we're unable to get a deal done, and that is going to be Anthony Martial. He's 31 years old. He's at Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are actually in the championship right now, so bringing him back up to the Premier League would not be an unrealistic move at all. I know there are some other players that you guys wanted me to bring in, like Gift Orban, Skamaka, Jovic, players like that. They're just a little bit too good. We want to bring in a player that's not going to replace João Pedro, but that is just going to come in and replace him for the next 3 months and cover for him for the next 3 months, and then be a backup for him later on if Chao Miranda doesn't end up working out. So this is really a short-term fix for a problem that we're bringing in, or that we've had given to us. So we're going to bring in Anthony Martial. We offered 18 million straight up, and they want to go with a straight swap for Buonanotte. So swapping a 31-year-old for a 21-year-old. Not going to work for us. We're going to go back in. We're just going to give 20 million. We've got plenty of money, so we're not necessarily worried about that. And that is the fee that we are going to pay for Anthony Martial to get him into the club. And he is now officially part of the club. 20 million paid for him. He's on about 70,000 a week in wages. Perfectly fine with paying that. I mean, if we don't like Anthony Martial, like I said, we've got Chao Miranda, who's played pretty well for us. They say that that's a terrible negotiation. We could have got him for a lot less, but it's not that big of a deal at this point. So if we don't like Anthony Martial, we can definitely just get rid of him in the summer transfer window, or we can just keep him around as a backup player. A very experienced player in the Premier League, of course. The other player we thought about bringing in was Ollie Watkins, but I just couldn't bring myself to take him away from Villa. It just wouldn't make sense at this point in his career to leave that club. So that's going to be that, and we're already here to our first match in the January transfer window, in the month of January, and it's going to be a Leeds United game, who we just played in the last episode. And got a 1-0 win against them, but I have a feeling it's going to go about the same in this episode as well. We did get in a transfer offer for Lenny Jansen. It wasn't a transfer offer, I guess, as a loan option from AC Milan for a loan-to-buy option. We're just going to go ahead and reject that offer, and then we're also going to reject the Leverkusen offer as well. We're just going to block offers for now. I want to keep him around because since we're going to use Buonanotte as kind of the cam backup for Eze, we're going to use Jansen as the backup out on the right side for Kudus once he starts playing for the squad regularly. For this game, though, this is the lineup Leeds are going to be going with, probably very similar to the lineup that they put out against us in the last game. And then this is the lineup we're going to be going with. We're going to start Miranda up top and Jansen out on the right. Martial and, of course, Kudus have only been with the club for about a day now. So we're going to wait until they get situated with the squad to start them and to keep it a little bit realistic, of course. But this is the lineup we're going to be going with, so let's go ahead and get into it. First game of the episode. Leeds pushing forward here nicely. De Ketelaere gets around Ndicka, and just terrible defense, honestly, by me and by Evan Ndicka there, and Leeds take a 1-0 lead after 11 minutes. Pretty much nothing happening before that, and now we're down, so gonna have to do some work. Getson Fernandez inside to Fabricio Diaz. Is a terrible touch there. Would have been a good turn. We're gonna try to keep some pressure on here. Leeds have so far kept us from going forward in this game very nicely. As you can see, their defense has been very stout. And offensively, they've been moving forward very well also. They're pushing forward here now. That cross is heading right towards Evan Ndicka. He's able to get that one away. We haven't really been able to get on a break or do anything so far in this game, and almost every pass is getting deflected, but somehow we're able to come away with this one. We need to push forward here. Getson Fernandez. Just a terrible pass. Chao Miranda playing well. Getting an interception. Garnacho looking for Eze towards that back post. Unable to find him, and they just have great defense yet again. Another effort. I don't know if that one was heading towards the goal or not, but this one might be. It is, and Verbruggen makes the save. Good shot there by the Leeds man, but unable to find the back of the net, but that's going to be the end of the first half. And Leeds are just absolutely dominating us right now. 67% possession, 5 shots to our 0, so we need to see something different in the second half. Leeds pushing forward again. Aronson over here to Drame. He's going to look back inside for Aronson. We're able to get that one not away. Terrible, terrible pass. Verbruggen able to get that one under control and able to pass it out eventually. Of course, our first game after finally going up into first place for possibly the first time in Brighton's history is going like this, but a great pass inside. Eze needed to go to that near post or needed to go over the top of the keeper. Bad decision there, but really our first chance of the game, so better than the first half. Mafi now pushing forward, and a cross right to De Ketelaere for the second goal of the game for Leeds United. And 66 minutes gone. Things are not looking good. And we're going to go ahead and make a three-man sub right here, right now. Mohamed Kudus is actually going to make his debut for us at Cam, replacing Eze. Bino Gittins out on the left, and then Anthony Martial coming in up top. We need these guys to make a difference immediately, and we're already going to get a yellow card for a Leeds player with Mohamed Kudus. So, Mohamed Kudus finding a pass to Bino Gittins. Nowhere to go just yet. Anthony Martial, what a header, and what a save by Pickford. Bricio Diaz, what a pass inside to Jamie Bino Gittins. Can he find one for us? Yes, he can. 88 minutes gone. There's a possibility we can get a point back in this game. It's very, very highly unlikely, but it is possible. And the referee only gives 1 minute of added time, even though there were at least 3 or 4 times when we got fouled in that second half. And that means we lose on the road at Leeds United at Ellen Road. 2-1. And I thought that loss would mean that we would definitely not be in first place after that game, but we're actually still in first. Arsenal drew their game. I'm not sure who they played. It looks like they played against Southampton. And Manchester City lost their game to Newcastle, so still in first after 20 games, even with a loss there, so that loss didn't hurt us too much. And we are now to our next game, but it is an FA Cup game against Blackpool. Blackpool are currently in League One, 2 divisions below us, of course. We're going to go ahead and get into this game. This is the lineup that Blackpool are going to be going with. I'm definitely not going to be familiar with any of these players, but that's okay. And then this is the lineup we're going to be going with. Fully backup lineup, fully rotated side. More than likely, I'm just going to show you the goals and the main highlights of this game. I'm probably not going to show too much else. Depending on how it goes, we might also simulate the second half, but let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to get a win here and move on to the 4th round. Buonanotte inside of Jansen. Jansen with a goal, 9 minutes gone. Wasn't exactly aiming for that near post, but that's where it ended up. And Jansen is celebrating like he won the golden boot or something, I don't know, but 1-0. Ooh, Buonanotte with a nice pass there. Chamaranda, ball roll inside, able to get around the defender momentarily. Goalkeeper with a save. Chamaranda pushing forward off that Barco pass, another one. Oh, Buonanotte, fantastic pass. Over the top to Mohamed Kudus, who we brought on for Chamaranda after 65 minutes and 69 minutes gone. We take a 2-0 lead finally. Gittins inside to Kudus. Kudus waiting for Bricio Diaz to get open. Does not score. Lenny Jansen going to pass back here. Lamptey over here to Kudus. Wow, good save. 93 minutes gone, or 90 minutes gone now. But honestly, Blackpool played really well. Definitely not a great attacking team, but defending-wise, they held us at bay for a good majority of the game. The referee's going to blow his whistle there, and that's going to be the end. 2-0 win for Brighton Hove Albion. Moving on to the 4th round of the FA Cup. And Carlos Baleba picked up an injury in that game, and it's, you guessed it, a broken toe injury. 3 months. I'm ready for that to stop. That's a ridiculous bug that's in this game. No matter what I've had the settings set to in this career mode, the 3-month toe injury, broken toe injury, has always been the injury we get. So, whatever. One thing I did want to go ahead and do after this game is recall Leonardo da Costa from his loan. Fulham are in the Premier League, so we can see that they just haven't played him in literally any games at all this season. And we don't want that from the 16-year-old to not get any game time, so we're going to recall him. He is up now to a 74 overall after us bringing him back, ironically enough. And so we are going to go ahead and try to send him back out on loan to a different club, hopefully one that'll actually play him. And we've gone ahead and done that for a few other players as well. We're going to send them back out on loan after they come back to us because they just weren't getting any game time. Renato Ribeiro is one of those players as well. One thing I'm thinking about doing in this game, or before this upcoming game, is actually bringing back Leonardo Duarte. We've got Lewis Dunk, we've got Evan Ndeka, we've got Igor, and we've got Diamande, but Lewis Dunk, he's getting very old and regressing very quickly. And so I want to bring back Leonardo Duarte. It's going to cost us 288k, which is absolutely nothing. And we're going to try to get him some game time at some point coming up soon. We might even be able to get him into the next game a little bit. We do now have this Carabao Cup game against Arsenal. The first leg of it, we are definitely going to be simulating. We might play the second leg depending on how we feel about the first leg. Like I said, going back to it, the Carabao Cup, not exactly a competition we've necessarily been too worried about this season at all. Up for this game, though, we're going to have some tired legs because it's a midweek game. So we're going to have to play some of our starters as well, which is slightly annoying. But that's just how it goes sometimes. But I think this is the lineup we're going to go with. We're going to get Mercier in goal and keep him in. Some of our players are going to be a little bit annoyed by that because they haven't played in a couple of weeks. But you know, we don't want to play our best players because we've got a game against Southampton in 3 days, and that's going to be very, very important in the league standings, of course. So let's go ahead and take a look at those league standings just real quick. Southampton have had a little bit of a fall from grace since their great start to the season where they were like in top 4 for the first, 10 games or so. Now they're sitting in 9th place, still having a solid season though, and still a team that we need to be very much worried about. So before we can get to the Southampton game though, let's go ahead and get into this Arsenal game. This is the lineup that they're going to be going with. Very solid lineup, but definitely some backup players in there as well. They've now got John Stones playing right back. That's crazy to see. But let's go ahead and get into this game. Like I said, a game that we are going to be simulating. So we're going to go with just a quick sim for this one. We are going to come away with a 2-1 loss, actually. It looks like Chal Miranda actually picks up a red card in the 84th minute after scoring in the 75th minute to get one back for us. Odegaard and Neymar scoring for them. Looks like a competition that we might be going out of. Like I said, probably not going to play that second leg, but I'll see how I feel once we actually get to it. So let's go ahead and advance to this Southampton game, and let's see if we can get a win. This is going to be Southampton's lineup for the game. Suleimana, of course, the player that we have to worry about, just like last episode. We did end up getting a win over them in the last episode, though. It was the same with Leeds as well, and we ended up with a loss today. So hopefully going to be finding ourselves with a win. That's the lineup we're going to be going with. Kudus starting, Martial starting up top. Let's get a win. Kudus with a nice move to get around that right back, or left back, excuse me. Now just running past all of the defense. Still nowhere to go just yet. Finds a pass to Martial, who looks back inside for Kudus, who finds a goal. 4 minutes gone. A little bit of a cutback pass, but we did stop at the baseline, or at the touchline, to make sure we didn't cut back right in front of goal. And Martial assists Kudus 4 minutes in. And that's going to be Mohamed Kudus' first goal for us in the Premier League, and only his second of the entire Premier League season, which is insane to see. Alcaraz from the edge of the box, going for a shot. Not a bad effort. Goes over the bar, though. Verbruggen doesn't have to worry about it. Suleimana able to get past Indica. Shot right at Verbruggen, though. He sticks with it. Alcaraz now trying to get a tackle in. Oh, and we barely get it away. We are lucky not to concede there. Zaidu. Oh, going for a shot. Verbruggen has to at least palm it away. I don't know if it would have actually found its way into the goal there, but corner for Southampton, 30 minutes gone. They've actually had a few chances. We're able to clear that one away. What a pass. Inside to Sarr, who makes a move. Oh, Verbruggen, another save. 36 minutes gone. He's at least got 4 or 5 saves already in this game. A pass inside, that one right at Verbruggen. I guess another save, but that one was very, very easy for him to get to. Martial with a nice move and able to find Kudus. Oh, great goalkeeping by Bazunu there. Not enough time for Kudus to get that shot away. Wow, that almost went in. I mean, Diamande is just standing right next to him, not going for a tackle. And of course, the game doesn't actually give me control of him, so almost a goal given up there. Perquez over here to Diop, or not Diop, Martial. Kudus, again, can't get that one away. Still a 1-goal lead for us here after 56 minutes. Kudus finds an overlapping run from Thierry Correa. I see Martial inside, who finds Kudus, who can't get a shot away, still with it. And it hits Garnacho, and he's going to be offsides. Referee's going to allow the ball to play, though, so we still have it. Garnacho pushing forward, finding Martial. Martial from the edge of the box, took too long to shoot. Went back off of his arm. Referee plays advantage. Parad with a nice pass over here to Mendy. Mendy looking inside. Ball's going to go right into Kirkes's legs and out for a corner. We're going to go with a 4-man sub here after 85 minutes. Still clinging on to our 1-0 lead. We need to head this ball away and get it cleared out. Getson Fernandez not able to do that. Somehow doesn't foul anybody in the box. And we're just going to try to run as much as we can, except try to find a pass. And the person fakes me out, but Garnacho able to win that one. Fabricio Diaz. Oh, that's a beautiful ball over the top to Buonanotte, who fakes out the keeper, tries to go near post, finds the far post. 2-0 win over Southampton. 89 minutes gone. Buonanotte coming on to replace Eze and finding a goal. And Fabricio Diaz finding a beautiful assist as well. And that's that. Referee blows his whistle. 93 minutes gone. 2-0 win. Very, very, very much needed win there over a very tough Southampton team. And as you guys can see here, we have already simulated our second leg of the Carabao Cup against Arsenal. I again forgot to press record before actually simulating the game, so that's my bad. We lose 2-2, or we draw 2-2 in the game. We lose 4-3 on aggregate overall. Chao Miranda scoring in that one as well as Bruno Gittins, but unfortunately not enough as they get 2 goals as well. So we are now into the end of the month of January, but we now have a game against Chelsea in the FA Cup. And this game is where we're going to leave off the episode. We're going to leave deadline day there just in case there are any last minute moves that we want to make, and in case there are any moves that you guys want to make. And then we'll get into the month of February and we will complete that month in the next episode, more than likely, depending on, you know, how many games get added into that month, of course. But we are here at our final game of the episode, FA Cup, 4th round, I believe, against Chelsea here. Tough draw for us, honestly, in the 4th round to get a team like Chelsea when there's teams like Stockport and Plymouth and Sutton and Coventry that we could have played, but that's just how it goes sometimes. So you got to beat the best to be the best. And that's what we're trying to do. We won the FA Cup, of course, last year. So if we could win it again this year, that'd be fantastic. I believe our goal for this year from the board, or objective, is to win the FA Cup. So it's going to be tough. This is the lineup Chelsea are going to be going with in this game. And of course, you guys saw that we're going to go with our best lineup out. So let's go ahead and get into it. Kirkes making an overlapping run past Garnacho, trying to get across over the top past the keeper to that back post, but unable to do so. 8 minutes gone. We're going to go ahead and swing this cross in here with Kudus. Looking for, I believe that was Indica there. Garnacho going to end up with it. We're going to get this one. Diamande out to Kudus, who should be much faster than this opponent, but unfortunately can't get around him. Great defense by Chelsea there. Lavia over here to Jota. Jota tackled by Thierry Correa. Fantastic defense there. Kudus unable to get the ball out from under his feet. Jota pushing forward again, looking for a cross. That one ends up somehow with Fofana over here, and we're going to clear that cross away. What a pass inside to Madueke. Fofana passes it back to Nkunku. Cutback passes are king in FC24, even for the CPU. And Nkunku finds the first goal of this game, 28 minutes gone. Diop finding a pass in here to Garnacho. De Vrij, I'm not sure how you say his name. Great defense by him again. A good steal though. Eze looking over the top. I mean, Eze's passing is just not as good sometimes as it needs to be, but it looks like we might get a free kick here. Handball on the defense. Anthony Martial, apparently our best free kick taker. There's just no way. We're going to lay this one off for Fernandez. I'm going to try to maybe go to the back post this time. Put a decent amount of power on it. Try to green time it. Yeah, nothing doing there. But Kudus is able to find that ball. Anthony Martial just can't get it out from under his feet fast enough. That has been a big issue for today's episode. Just can't get it out from under our feet. Garnacho, overlapping run from Kirkes. Looking for Andy Diop. Looks like that's going to be another free kick. A little bit ridiculous of a call there, I must say. But again, just going to go for it. Anthony Martial, the one on it this time. And of course, off the crossbar. Andy Diop. I mean, Garnacho started to run and then kind of stopped, which is just truly unfortunate because I think he was through on goal there. But it's not going to matter. That's the end of the first half. Chelsea 1-0 at the break. Garnacho into Martial. We're just going to keep pushing forward here. Kudus making a good run. Martial's still going to end up with it. Diop over here to Eze. Eze able to get some space. Great shot there. But Diogo Costa able to palm that one away for a corner. And we're going to go ahead and get Anthony Martial off and bring on Jansen. And I'm actually going to move Kudus up to striker and Jansen on the right. I like Kudus through the middle. I mean, he's an insanely good player and has pretty good finishing. So kind of makes sense for him to play through the middle since he's our highest overall player. Chelsea pushing forward again. And Nkunku over here on this right side. Finding Madueke inside. Fabricio Diaz getting back to help out on defense and able to get that one away. Garnacho, I wish Kudus would have stayed on that left side, but that's okay. Kirkes is going to find a pass over the top to Garnacho, who heads it forward. Kind of a heavy touch. Going to look inside for Kudus, who finds Eze. We have to go for an early shot, and unfortunately, right at the keeper. Free kick, given up on the edge of the box, 74 minutes gone. I mean, we just can't find a goal. We can't find a way forward and through their defense. And this Diaz through Diop, or switch for Diop, is still on that screen. I don't know why it won't go away. Just FC glitches, of course. A pass inside here to Jota. He gets so lucky to get that and unlucky to hit the post. And we're going to be able to get this one away. Madueke down this right side. Going in for a sliding challenge with Kirkez. Maybe should have just stayed on our feet there. And Kunku now with the ball. Pushing inside. Gets around our defender. And Dika. Oh, I thought that was a penalty. But we are away here. Mohamed Kudus. Going to try to get around these defenders. Pushing inside. No one here to help. Just literally no one. Garnacho now. Looking inside for Kudus. And we let it run by. Damn. Jansen pushing forward. Able to get around his defender. We're going to try to knock this one in the air. They deal with it just well momentarily. Kudus finds a pass to Garnacho. Garnacho going for a shot. Level game at 1 after 89 minutes. We're not out of the FA Cup just yet. But 89 minutes gone, of course, that means we are probably going to have no chances to go forward. Only 2 minutes of added time. EA really need to add the added time like they do in real life, where it's like 10 minutes sometimes. That would make the game feel a little bit more realistic. They're going to have a shot here right at the end of the second half, or right at the end of the game, I guess. 92 minutes gone, Bruggen makes a save. As long as we can get this corner out, we are going to a replay. Right at Garnacho, who clears it away. That's sort of a foul there, or at least it should be. Madueke sending one in. And we can't get rid of it, but that header is right at Verbruggen. And that will officially be full time. Well, this episode was much more difficult than the previous, 2 or 3 episodes, really. Not a lot going well for us in this episode. We do get a win against Southampton and a win against Blackpool in the FA Cup, of course. Draw against Chelsea in the FA Cup here at the end of the month, and a draw, of course, against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, as well as losing in the Carabao Cup. So, getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup, not a big deal. Not worried about it, but FA Cup looking a little shaky, and Premier League, a win out of 2 games and a loss in the other game as well. Tough episode. I would describe that as probably the worst episode of the season, maybe, except for the very first one, or maybe the second one, where we had a couple of losses early on in the year. But nonetheless, a pretty good episode, to be fair. We can't win every game, and that's okay. But we're still in first place in the Premier League, which is absolutely incredible to see, of course. 13 wins from 21 games, 5 draws, only 3 losses on the season. Very, very good to see from the boys. 44 points, 2 ahead of Arsenal, 3 ahead of Chelsea, and 4 ahead of Man City. So top 4 is looking pretty firm right now, but of course there's 17 games left to go, so lots of games left to play and lots of things left to happen in the rest of the season. That's where we're going to end off the episode. We are now on deadline day in the transfer window, and as you can see, this is the team we're rocking with. Martial, of course, up top instead of João Pedro since he is out with injury, but besides that, this team is looking absolutely incredible. And then, of course, don't forget that down here on the bench, we've got some great players as well. Igor's up to an 80 overall, which is great to see from a guy that's been here his entire career, or at least in this career mode at least. And then, of course, Bino Gittins, 80 overall. Fabricio Diaz, 82 overall. He's basically a starter, as well as Andy Diop. We kind of interchange both of them. Jansen and Bonanate obviously lost their starting spots, but still very, very solid players that I think can do a job for us. So we're going to keep them around. Barco, a very good left back. I like using him a lot. He's a very, very underrated player. And then Chao Miranda, again, not highly rated, but I definitely think he is a very, very solid player. And then, of course, our reserve players as well. We've got a couple injuries, but I think this team is shaping up to be a very, very, very good team, and I really like the looks of it. But if there are any moves that you guys still think we should make, we are on deadline day, so there's still the option of bringing in a player if you want to. So please be sure to leave your comments down below. Please be sure to like the video. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the career mode. Let me know how you're feeling about the career mode in the comments down below as well. If you enjoy it, just let me know. I like hearing you guys' feedback about everything. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.